Thank you. It is National Pet Month, and we can't think of a better way to celebrate than with Pinot's Palette hosting Project Pet, where guests can actually paint a portrait of their pets. And here to show us how it works, we have Reed and Judy Allowell, the owners of Pinot's Palette at Town Square. So that is the location where Crystal and I hosted that event last fall. We had so much fun. And now I did hear about this thing that you can do when we did that event, that you can paint your pet, and I'm sure it's a very popular thing.
It is very popular, yep, a lot of
We
fun.
call it Project Pet. Americans love their pets, and so what happens is the guest sends us a picture, much like this one right here. This is one of my favorites that is, it appears to be an upside down cat. We then print it onto a grayscale canvas like this, and then the guests come in at the instruction of our artist, turn it into that.
Oh, wow.
And that's what really makes a lot of fun. This one over here is one of a schnauzers, that one of our artist schnauzers. It's just amazing how people can do something. They think they cannot do that, but with a little help and guidance, they can make a memorial for their animal.
And you know how people love their pets. So,
of course.
Yes.
This is something you can have in your living room for the rest of your days to remember your pet. I wish I had that for the pets that I've come across in my life. How much work goes into this from the actual owner? Like how much work is on my end in terms of painting that cat?
Well, the guests will send in their picture about 2 weeks in advance of the painting, the actual event, and then we send it off. That picture gets photoshopped into grayscale and printed onto the canvas. And then 2 weeks later, they come into the studio. Everything is set up for them, and we have artists on hand to teach them how to and guide them through their painting.
So the actual paint that was done on this portrait was done entirely from the pet owner?
From the pet owner.
Yes.
With some verbal assistance from some experts there?
Yes.
Verbal guidance.
Some verbal guidance.
What we find with all of our paintings is people think they can't do it, including Judy and I.
Exactly. Exactly.
But when you get a little guidance from somebody that says, well, do this, try this, do that, all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you're like, I can actually do this. And it brings back those creative juices that you haven't seen for many, many years.
But there's some people who really can't do it, like myself. You saw that painting, freehand, off memory of our dogs. It was one of the worst things I've ever created. But again, I did that without, the assistance that you're talking about with the photograph and having somebody actually instruct me. So.
And our artists actually give tips and tricks on how to do the fur and the eyes and the nose, and so it makes it easy for them to do.
So as painters yourselves, what is the challenge of painting a pet? Is it with the eyes, the fur, the ears, the face?
Yes.
Yeah, why is that?
There's so much detail in the eyes and the nose and the mouth, and they want to get it exactly right, so a lot of attention is paid to that area.
Right. So. Well, can you give people some information about where to go for this and when you're doing this?
Sure.
Sure. So our next Project Pet class is May 23rd at the Town Square Studio, but we need our pictures in 2 weeks in advance to give us time to do the printing.
Okay.
And then we have another one in June 21st, and we need 2 weeks before that one as well. That one will be at Boca Park.
We have the information on your screen, so start going through the 1,000 photos on your iPhone of your pet right now. And pick a good one, send it in. Thank you guys for coming in. It's a wonderful event.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. A lot of fun. Honor your pet. We'll be right back after